Forever on my Calio shit. Kidnapping, murdering, throw him in the pit. Yeah, see the flames, smell the gasoline. Straight torture, motherfucker, view the murder scene. Yeah, nigga. Shout out to them bricks, nigga. That Calio CP3 Glock work all day, nigga. Yeah, BW Coupe housing complex, nigga. Rather the projects, nigga. Born and raised, nigga. K's in my hand, nigga. Yeah, shout out to my OG Mullo, him Stella. Rest in peace, Levi Jonathan, Lionel Bouye, my nigga Pat, my nigga Scooter. Yeah, my nigga Rello, my Uncle Ram with the lavalator, you heard me? My nigga Lil D. All them OGs out there, Calio. Randall Slim, Lil Black, Ricky D, all in. You know what's up, nigga. Rest in peace to my nigga Poach Boy Joe. Lil Beast, them Poach Boys. Yeah, my nigga Michael Claiborne, rest in peace, you heard me? My nigga Ubi, we used to call him Lover. You know, that's that throwback, nigga. Calio.
Greetings, this is Brother t.r.u. I'm going to do a quick video on the Calio projects, also known as the BW Cooper housing projects, which was located uptown New Orleans. The development was built between 1939 and 1941, which was the first phase of the project. But in 1954, a 12-block expansion added 860 new units, which was the second phase. The first phase was titled the Old Side, whereas the second phase was titled the New Side. Both sides together had a total of 8 courtways or courtyards. The first courtway started on the Old Side was Prayer Court, which was close to Booker T. Washington High School. The second courtway following Prayer Court was Johnson Court. Following Johnson Court was half of Galvez Court. The other half of Galvez Court continued on the back or the back of town part of the projects on the old side. Galvez was the street that separated the front of town from the back of town. So continuing from Galvez Courtway was Merrill Court, which was the courtway where Master P and his family was from. Next to Merrill Courtway was t.r.u. Court. And from t.r.u. you had that Russia Blade. And then the last courtway on the old side was the t.r.u. Court. All these courts are on the old side, but on the new side is the biggest courtway, which stretches from the front of town on Prayer Street to the back of town on t.r.u., which is the t.r.u. Courtway. The courtway gets its name from the street that goes straight through the courtway. These are the buildings that are 4 stories tall. Some think that Master P was from the t.r.u. Court due to him shooting the Bout About It music video, the Ice Cream Man, and the Hootie Hoo video there. That t.r.u. Court was part of the projects where it was jumping. The whole project was live, but some parts was more active than others. The residents took pride in their court name or where they was from, either the back of town, the front of town, or the old side, or the new side. During the Calio earlier days, it was considered a means for working class families to live comfortably while saving up the funds to purchase their own homes. The community got along with each other well for years. Events, programs was going on for the citizens to teach them skills and to entertain the people. But as time went on, things started changing. There was a collapse in the social economical system, which resulted in many participating in the underworld economy of dealing drugs. Samuel Clay, aka Sam Scully, or Scully, was the one who brought in the new wave of hustling in the uptown region of New Orleans in the early 80s. But in 1987, he was killed in a hallway in the Calio projects. His death sparked a war that will cause inner conflict within the complex that will last for years. Gennaro Meatball Arthur, who many know as Meatball, was suspected of Scully's death. Meatball was a high-ranking hitman in the city. When he was put on your head, your days was numbered. He was patient when he carried out his hits. If he had to wait in a spot for a great amount of time to get you, he'd do it. It was said that Meatball himself and another gangster from the Calio by the name of Nap Elway would join forces with Glenn Metz to take over the drug market in uptown New Orleans. From this time on, the Calio was a spot, and it had that work. It was coined the home of the dope in later times due to the kingpins, the hitmen that the projects housed. You had the likes of Al Brownecks, who preceded Sam Scully, who I mentioned before. Glenn Metz, Nap, Elway, Meatball, Marlo Hempstetter, and the Tuesday Crew was the groups that operated from the 80s to the early 90s. After these phases of dealers dissolved, a new face filled in the void. One of the faces being Richard Pena, who was considered an outsider, who came from Florida to New Orleans. Many thought he was Cuban, but he was actually Dominican. He used his Latin roots to connect with major suppliers throughout the Latin American world to plug the D-boy cliques throughout the city of New Orleans. But the Calio was that spot, and Randall Watts, aka Calio Slim, was his connect in the Calio. At this time, which was the early 90s to the late 90s, after the Glenn Metz reign, Levi Jonica and Randall Watts was those guys of the Calio projects. Levi was a major player in the game until he got shot up and dumped on the emergency ramp at Charity Hospital. After Levi's death, Randall, who was Master P's cousin, was the landlord of the Calio. He was the one that kept things in order through the system called the G Code. In 1997, Randall Slim was shot 18 times in the Calio across the street from his hangout spot, the Tav, or the Rose Tavern, a spot where all the players, pimps, hustlers frequented. Terrence Gangsta Williams, who was the brother of Slim and Baby O'Brien Williams of Cash Money Records, was suspected of killing Randall. This caused the beef between No Limit and Cash Money Records. The Calio and the Magnolia been at odds with each other for years, but Master P is synonymous with No Limit and the Calio, whereas Baby and his brother is synonymous with Cash Money and the Magnolia. The two labels never worked with each other. There was always disputes within the complex. The front of town used to feud with the back of town. Those from the front of town used to click up just so they could walk through the back of town and go to the store or the washerette on Durgewall Street, which is across the street from the Delia Courtway. But when the projects had beef with outsiders, they clicked up and they put in work. The Calio gave birth to a couple of cliques. You had that Tuesday Crew, the AD Gang. You had the FTK, or the Front of Town Killers. You had the BTGs, or the Back of Town Gangsters. You had the Porch Boys and the Cut Boys. But in the 2000s, things really started changing. A lot of the old schoolers was being taken out of circulation. There was a period, well, a 2-week period with string of killings within the complex. One claiming the life of Janelle Joint Jones, who was still slinging in March of 2000. Then in 2002, Ernest Marrero was gunned down on Russia Blade in his car between the old side and the new side of the projects. His mother, Yvonne Marrero, was shocked at his death. She said he changed his life and he was spending time with his family. he was also trying to start his own janitorial business. But some might have felt that he might have been snitching because of how clean he was living. But he was arrested in 1991, right along with the Mets organization, and was sentenced to 10 years. The reconstructed Calio is now called the Marrero Commons in honor of Ivan Marrero, who was a longtime resident of the Calio and the president of the projects. When you mention the Calio, you can't forget to mention the Rose Tavern, the Yed Center, and Roosevelt Gym. Also, you can't forget to mention St. Monica Church. And you can't forget to mention Booker T. Washington High School. Also, you can't forget its notable residents who were and are musicians, politicians, actors, and business owners, from the likes of Henry Butler, Willie T, Harold Sylvester, R&B artist Lloyd Polite, No Limit Records CEO and artists Master P, his brothers C Murder and Silk the Shocker. You also have the Calio Bar, Calio Papa, and King Tokyo, who was the nephew of Levi Jonica. Tokyo was on the rise before his death. But there are so many stories that come out of the projects. This is only part 1. Pretty soon, I'll be doing the part 2 of the Kevin Miller story and part 2 of the Calio. And I'm going to be going over to the Magnolia and also the Melpomene. So, stay tuned, family. Shalom, salams, and Godspeed.